Imagine building your entire life around someone, only to watch it all crumble in a single moment. I thought I had found my forever person, the one who would stand by me through thick and thin. We had our future mapped out, our dream home, our children, our happily ever after. But everything shattered when I uncovered the emotional affair my boyfriend was having with a younger woman at his office. The betrayal has left me questioning everything I thought I knew about love, trust, and the man I thought was my soulmate. This is the story of how my dream man turned into a stranger overnight, and how I'm struggling to find a way forward from the ruins of our broken life. And speaking of shattered lives, we have another heart-wrenching story you won't want to miss, a tale of a woman whose entire world was torn apart by a shocking revelation about her partner. Stay tuned to discover the devastating twist that changed everything for her. I, 25F, recently discovered that my 29M boyfriend of almost 3 years has been having an emotional affair with an intern, 22F, at his office. I am completely and utterly devastated, and I have no clue how to pick up the pieces of my life. We met through a friend when I was 22, and he 26. He was going through legal troubles and struggling to hold down a job, and I didn't care. I thought he was incredible, and he was. He was my biggest support, uplifted me, and was the best friend I could ever ask for. We started out long distance, frequently traveling to one another. About 6 months into our relationship, my job went remote, and I had the opportunity to travel across the country and develop our relationship in his home city. Although the move was hard, it was incredible. I found myself, and he supported me the entire way. We eventually moved in together, have adopted cats, and have become intertwined in each other's families. Everyone around us sees our relationship as a source of inspiration due to our open communication and devotion. We've had growing pains, but I truly believed he was my soulmate, as did our friends and families. About 8 months ago, almost 2 years of being unable to hold down a job, he finally landed an incredible role in the field of his dreams. I couldn't have been more proud. Every moment I spent supporting us financially, the stress of being poor, and his own self-loathing dissipated. I was over the moon for him, and I knew he would go far. Fast forward to present day. I was offered an incredible promotion a few weeks ago, landing my own dream role, with the unfortunate caveat that I would be required to relocate back across the country for a period of at least 18 months. We talked for hours, weighing all options. We both agreed that for my career, this move would be worth it. He was clear that he would not be willing to leave his own job to move with me, and I understood. We held each other, cried, and built a plan for our future that would lead us through a successful LDR and back together within a few years. Part of that plan included him purchasing a home, something he had been looking to do for some time in order to provide us with more stability. I felt so good about our plan, especially knowing that we had braved LDR successfully before. On Tuesday night, buzzing off the excitement of my new job and our plans, my world shattered in front of me. He had mentioned that he would be going to a movie the night before at 7:30 with coworkers, and invited me to come along. This particular movie, we had watched the prequel to just weeks ago with plans to see it soon. I was working on tying loose ends in my current role, and knew I would be working late, but told him I would let him know if I could make it. On Tuesday my workday comes and goes, and I checked his location to see when he would be home. I see that he was at the movies, already, at 6 p.m. I'd never felt anything but complete trust for him, but somehow, something in my gut felt extremely off. I went for a drive, trying to talk myself down and tell myself this was just my past trauma haunting me. When I returned home, he was back. He was in a great mood, and I asked him how the movie was. He danced around it a bit before finally divulging that he had gone to see it alone with his intern, because their other coworker, who has never attended a social event, shocker, did not attend. The way he was reluctant to reveal any details without me prying set off alarm bells in my head. On top of that, his deliberate refusal to give me the correct movie time so I could join. I have male coworkers who I am close with, and I am not the jealous type. He has many female friends he hangs out with, who are near and dear to me, that I have never once thought twice about. This time felt different. I don't know why, but I asked him to see his text messages with her. What I saw was a dagger to my heart. They were openly flirtatious, sending songs to one another the way he did with me when we met. Him pretending he had never heard these songs before, as if her taste was incredible. Not gonna lie, the songs were trash too, yuck. Pictures of them posed smiling together at a happy hour I drove him to, and he had skipped in quickly without kissing me goodbye. Her asking him what to wear to certain events. The thing that sent me over the edge was pictures of the house he had toured that week. They gushed back and forth about his plans to remodel, redo the flooring, the walls, and how to decorate it. She was excited to come by as soon as possible. He told her all the ins and outs of the location, and told her that he knew this was the one. In his text to me, his alleged future wife, about our future home, he was dry, detached, and disengaged. I didn't even get some of the pictures, or any of the details. I physically felt my heart shatter. I pressed him for more information. I could tell he was withholding, and he finally admitted that he was attracted to her and enjoyed the attention of a younger woman who didn't see any of his ugliness. He claimed that her intelligence, at 22, was endearing to him. He admitted that this was a building emotional affair, at least on his end. He said that I had been distant. I've had several deaths in my family this year, and a sibling in the hospital long-term that I am unable to be there for due to the distance, which drove him to find attention elsewhere. I absolutely lost it. I uprooted my life for this man, a man I trusted completely, and he tore my future from my hands in a moment. I have been diagnosed with CPTSD due to horrific infidelity in a prior relationship. It involved a crime, and he has also previously been cheated on. In fact, he frequently battled severe jealousy, and it was something we worked through often. This betrayal was unfathomable to me, that he would break our bond for the first shiny toy at his workplace. Something in me broke, and I did not handle this with grace. I fractured entirely. My first week at my new job has been ruined. I'm unable to sleep or keep food down. I cannot function. I have no family here to support me. I spent an entire night sobbing, wondering how this could have happened. He went to sleep and got ready for work the next day. Not only that, but knowing full well he had destroyed me emotionally, the very next day, he put down an offer on the house she loved so much. 3 months early to the plan we made, and the plan I had to negotiate with my employer as a gesture of love to prevent making him homeless. Not only did he devastate me, he left me to deal with the paperwork of breaking our lease so he could start his new life. I was so angry that he was able to leave me in such a state, while I am left to pick up the broken pieces of myself. I was so desperate to make him feel any semblance of what I feel. I went about it entirely wrong, resorting to blackmailing him with threats of telling HR and telling her parents. His position of power in this situation made me deeply uncomfortable. I posted a private story for his friends, to see what he had done. I even went so far as to demand money for a post to come down, which I obviously returned. I'm horrified to even write this, but I have to be honest that this situation has brought out a demon I did not know existed within me. I could not make sense of how my dream man could emotionally detach from me, seemingly overnight. The man I loved was gone in an instant. He showed me messages of him explaining himself to friends, which essentially amounted to him saying I had overreacted and pushed him to this. Obviously, his friends did not buy this knowing our history, and he fessed up eventually. Today, after going out with coworkers, he came home to myself a sobbing and crying mess. I could tell he felt remorseful, and I begged him to just cut off the friendship and keep things professional with her from now on. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he begged me to let him remain friends with her. The idea that this friendship is so valuable to him is another knife in my back. If he cared about me at all, he would be willing to do whatever it took. He then doubled back, and said that he only admitted to the affair because I backed him into a corner, and that I had already made up my mind, so there was no point in cutting off the friendship. I'm baffled as to why a 22-year-old college student and a 29-year-old man are even conversing at all, let alone the power dynamic involved. He then claimed he is having trouble seeing what he did wrong, as though he hasn't struggled with severe jealousy himself throughout our relationship. He also witnessed his own father carry out multiple scarring emotional affairs that he still recalls vividly from childhood, ones that mirror this situation exactly. I am at a complete and utter loss. My life is ruined, my future is gone. The children we named will never exist. His mother, one of the greatest women I've ever known, is mortified. I will never give her the grandchildren we dreamed of, or walk down the aisle to him. I do not know how I will recover, and I am struggling to see the point of going on. I don't even know what my goal is here. I think a part of me is hoping we can work through this. Has anyone experienced this? How do I go on? Will the pain ever go away?